Good afternoon to one and all. I'm Deepthi Krishna from Central University of Kerala. Basically കൊല്ലംകാരിയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ എന്താ എന്നെ ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യുക എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ സ്പീക്ക് ഫോർ ഇന്ത്യ എന്നെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിട്ട് ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഇയർ ഗ്രാജുവേഷൻ ടൈമിൽ ഒരിക്കൽ മാത്രമാണ് പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. സെക്കൻഡ് റൗണ്ടിൽ ഞാൻ പോയിട്ടില്ല എന്നാണ് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത്. പിന്നെ ഞാൻ ഈ പരിപാടിക്ക് പോയിട്ടില്ല കേട്ടോ. പിന്നീട് ഇപ്പോൾ ആണ് സ്പീക്ക് ഫോർ ഇന്ത്യക്ക് വന്നിട്ടുള്ളത്. അപ്പോൾ എന്നെ സംബന്ധിച്ച് എനിക്ക് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നോ മാൻ ഈസ് പെർഫെക്റ്റ്, റൈറ്റ്? അപ്പം അങ്ങനെ ഒട്ടും പെർഫെക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടില്ലാത്ത ഒരാൾക്ക് ഇത്രയധികം ഒരുപാട് സംസാരിക്കുന്ന, ഒരുപാട് വേർഡ്സിൽ ബാറ്റിൽ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ആളുകളുടെ ഒപ്പം നിന്ന് സംസാരിക്കാൻ പറ്റുക എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് തന്നെ വലിയ ഭാഗ്യമായിട്ട് കരുതുന്നു. അതിന് സ്പീക്ക് ഫോർ ഇന്ത്യ ആൻഡ് ഫെഡറൽ ബാങ്ക് തന്ന ഈ അവസരത്തിൽ അവരോട് അതിയായിട്ടുള്ള നന്ദിയും കടപ്പാടും അറിയിക്കുകയാണ്. പിന്നെ എൻ്റെ അമ്മയച്ഛനും ഞാൻ ഇതുവരെ സ്പീക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നത് കണ്ടിട്ടില്ല എന്നാണ്. ഞാൻ പൊതുവേ അങ്ങനെ പ്രോഗ്രാംസിന് പോകുമ്പോൾ ഫ്രണ്ട്സിൻ്റെ കൂടെ മാത്രമാണ് പോവാറ്. അങ്ങനെ പോകുന്നൊരു വ്യക്തിയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റി എൻ്റെ പേരൻസിന് നൽകാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞതും ജസ്റ്റ് ബിക്കോസ് ഓഫ് ദി സ്പീക്ക് ഫോർ ഇന്ത്യ. സോ ഐ താങ്ക് സ്പീക്ക് ഫോർ ഇന്ത്യ ഫോർ ദാറ്റ്.
Thank you so much, Deepthi. Now, Uma.
My name is Nair. I'm pursuing BBA LLB from Government Law College, Thrissur. I've always been a believer of the quote that there is always someone better than you. And now I know so many people who are definitely a lot better than me. So a big round of applause first of all for all of you sitting over here. And earlier when I used to get a topic for debate or anything, I used to just choose one of the sides and stick to that. But now it has widened my perspective. Now I have started studying both the sides of any topic whichever comes to my hand. So thanks to Speak for India, Mathrubhumi and Federal Bank for this amazing opportunity. Thank you.
How was your experience switching the topic all of a sudden?
Yeah, it was definitely something new. I won't say it was very good because I'm not perfect in that, but yes, it was new and it was like an adventure, kind of.
All right, thank you so much, both of you. Now, we'll start with Deepthi first. You get 1 minute and your time starts now, Deepthi.
Okay. Hi friends. So I would like to start with a famous quote done by a self-made person, Abraham Lincoln. The philosophy of our classrooms in one generation is the philosophy of the politicians in next generation. Why he says those is very important. Even though he doesn't receive any formal education, he was a person who realized the importance, the value of education. That is why he quoted so. And according to politicians are the maker of a nation. So for such a kind of persons who are involved in the creative building of a nation should require minimum educational qualification. Even for a degrade job in government, you should have certain educational qualification. Then why not for politicians? It's my question. And that is why, because nepotism, corruption, all these kinds of favoritism, political iconography do increase in this field, and making the common oft-quoted adage, politics as a last refuge of a scoundrel, becomes a reality. That's all.
Thank you so much, Deepthi. Now it's time for you, Uma. Your time starts now.
A political representative has to be one of the people, by the people and for the people. Constituencies with very high rate of illiteracy do not require a Harvard graduate as their leader as much as a person who understands their needs, their problems and their difficulties. Moreover, by mandating a minimum educational qualification, we are discriminating a section of the society and depriving them of their constitutional right to voice their opinions and to represent their people. Institutional qualification is definitely different from political acumen. A good leader is one who has good speaking skills, communication skills, who has empathy for the people, who is able to take logical decisions, and not someone who possesses lots and lots of degrees. And where is it said that we need a minimum educational qualification in order to find a good political leader? We have examples of a lot of leaders like V.S. Achyutanandan, who was just a 7th pass, who possesses more knowledge about governance than many Oxbridge ministers.
Time's up. Now you have 3 minutes for a debate and your time starts now.
Okay, you have said that education is not much important when it comes to a political leader. Then can I ask you something? Why you are standing here? Just because you are a student? Because students have such a value. Because whenever you are being said, whenever you have to portray yourself in front of a wide group of people. When you are educated, people will listen to your words. Why? Because education is much important. And when it comes to a political leader, let us take the case of Jayalalitha. She is actually a self-made self-made person anyway. But at the same case, there are a lot of problems with her also. She was a self-made political iconographic leader, right?
Opponent, you fail to understand my argument. No one is saying that education is bad. What we are talking about here is education is a very desirable trait which everyone must possess. But what we are talking about here is for political leaders. Making educational qualification mandatory for political leaders is basically a violation of the universal adult franchise principle on which our democracy is based, which imparts equal opportunity, freedom and rights to each person.
Okay, lacking the opportunity for a better education cannot be called as an excuse. It's actually a deficiency which has to be curtailed down. That is why our Indian Constitution has made the right to education as a fundamental right. Why? Because education is much important in that case. When it comes to a political leader, he has to take diplomatic decisions. Critical thinking is very important.
Okay.
And so, with education, his experience can also be
arguing
widened.
with you. Because what I am saying is that a person who doesn't necessarily have an educational qualification but possesses the qualities to become a good leader deserves to come to the forefront. And you and I or the government is nobody to say that we don't have a right, because we are standing right here in a democratic nation which imparts equal freedom to everybody. Let me ask you one question. When we see Sachin Tendulkar playing in a field or Lata Mangeshkar singing a song, we don't go behind them asking their educational qualifications, what university they graduated from. We just applaud their talents. Then why can't this happen with political leaders too?
Can I ask you something? When it comes to a film, in the case of FDI, then there is, if you wanted a director there, will you go for an artist who is actually coming up to the stage with just skills and all, and he doesn't have a graduation or he doesn't have a bachelor degree in arts? Will never. When it comes to a job, qualification is mandatory, and that is what I am asking here.
Yes,
also,
my
politicians
possesses
do also
skills.
have a job to do, right?
Let us speak.
A person who possesses the necessary skills can be given the training, but a person who has just the basic degrees and no skills or talents cannot be brought to the forefront just because he possesses lots of degrees.
It's like
That's
icing.
exactly what
It's
you are
like
talking
icing
about.
on a cake. When you're saying that leadership quality and all those rhetoric qualities are something which add up something to a political leader.
All right, time's
knowledge
up.
is very much important.
Okay, now it's time for judges to ask them questions. We'll start with Deepthi first.
Yeah, Deepthi. My question is, see, you know that in India, whenever there was an important change or an important policy decision made, there was every time a person associated with the Prime Minister. For example, as an example, we can take Sam Pitroda in the case of Rajiv Gandhi. Or in the case of Indira Gandhi, she had her own well-wishers around her. So why should a Prime Minister or why should a President or a politician have necessary education when there is a relevant fraternity of learned people around them? Isn't it enough?
When there are enough educated people around you and you are actually supporting them, you are actually taking beneficiary from the other people to take a decision, it's actually a flop in your part. Because a political leader is supposed to be independent to take decision, independent to take diplomatic decision of his own or her own. After all, he is being elected by the people of his country. So, rather than asking for permissions or rather than asking for beneficiaries from other people, he should be valuable to stand in his own or her own foot.
Time's up. Now, next question is for Uma.
Uma, let us assume that you are an uneducated Prime Minister of India. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Your treasury has got 100 rupees in it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there is a group of people who is coming and asking you 100 rupees for scientific enhancement of the country. There is another group which is coming and asking you for earthquake relief, which is also 100 rupees. And there is another group which is coming for pollution control, which is again 100 rupees, and population prevention, another 100 rupees.
Yes, sir.
Your decision will be for whom?
And you got the question, right?
Yes.
Your time starts now.
So first of all, since I'm an uneducated Prime Minister, I would definitely consult with my Finance Minister and other ministers as to decide who should be given, whose priorities are to be taken into account. But my personal choice would be to give the 100 rupees to the earthquake or the calamity-ridden place, because that is what requires it as an urgent option, because rest of that can be dealt with at a later time. So that is what I believe in.
You have made an emotional decision on that. Now, coming to another decision that is coming secondarily. The other one is Indo-Pak war is coming up, and you need to spend money to enhance your Air Force and all that. So all these will lead you to depend more on your bureaucracy than your own decision-making skills,
So-
which leads to the rule of bureaucracy than the elected person.
So
Isn't that a danger?
First of all, since I have become the Prime Minister, I do believe that the people around me do find some qualities in me, some leadership traits in me which are beyond the qualifications which are possessed.
All right, thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you, sir.
Now
Thank you.
moving on to the next one. Please give them a huge round of